You're listening to Double Time, your daily accessible technology show. Now, here's your hosts, Steven Scott and Shaun Priest.
Hey, Shaun Priest. How are you?
Hey, Steven Scott. I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. Do you know, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit shaky today. A little bit shaky.
Oh, okay. Essential tremor?
No.
Nystagmus?
Nope.
Not eating a Tim Hortons in 2 minutes?
That's actually a good point. Must rectify that. Although I must admit, I came in from, I was outside today. Outside.
Breaking
I know.
news.
You're a hero,
Breaking
sir.
news.
I am. And Voice Vista, by the way. Who knew?
Who knew?
That's a
I
good
got
app.
text.
Have you heard of it? It's really good.
Yes. Funnily enough, I've been raving about it for ages, but you tried out a feature I haven't tried, and I actually forgot about, and it's something to do with routing.
Yes.
By beacon or something like that. How did you get on with that?
Well, I was heading to let's just say the foot doctor, and the foot doctor lives in a. Yeah, I'm not going to get into details. That's fine.
Please don't.
Yeah, basically going to the foot doctor, and it's one of those situations now which a lot of people I think are doing is they're working from home, so they've maybe taken their garage in their home and they've turned it into an office space, and in this case, that's exactly what the foot doctor did.
Okay.
So
Can I just clarify that's a doctor working out of a garage you went to see today?
Yeah, and in no way probably disqualified from anything. But let's just move on from that. So, there I have an address in this, lovely little village, but I have no idea where it is. Not far from where I live currently, but I've never been to that part of town. So I'm thinking, okay, this is me. Do I plan the route in advance? Do I, go through it all? Do I preview the route in advance?
Yes. You're blind. That's what we do.
Or do I just go for it with VoiceVista? So I sent you a message saying, Shaun, is VoiceVista good for like routing as well as, giving you the beacons? Didn't hear a thing back. Completely ignored.
Missed it.
So by the time I got your response, which was, tell the lovely children.
I recommended that you run something like Google Maps. I actually prefer Google Maps and VoiceVista alongside at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't get that message. So I didn't do that.
Too late.
I just went off. And I found the routing thing in there. So I put the address in of where I'm going. Very simple. I mean, I've got to say, that app is just so well laid out. And went in, put in the address of where I was going. I literally typed in the word feet. And the place I'm going pops up. It's a very small village. There are not many places around. Okay, so it probably would have been a bit different in a city. But anyway, found the location, and it starts this process of basically placing you inside a Las Vegas casino with various bimps and bops and ka-chings and ta-da and all that. You get all these noises. As I'm walking along, I've got no idea what I've done. Have I unlocked a new level of life that I'm unaware of? Have I increased my lifespan by 5 minutes? Do I now own all the weapons?
Invincible.
I don't know. Do I have all the money? I don't know. But anyway, either way, I was walking along, and yes, I mean, that intersection, when you come up to an intersection and it tells you, what road's going left, what road's going right. Now, I'm wearing the Meta Ray-Bans at the time. I'm actually wearing a brand new pair today that arrived, the blue pair. The denim blue, Shaun Priest. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. I'm a very traditional guy, Steven Scott. It's like I'm recording with Elton John.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Carry on.
I'm just as good in the piano. So anyway, went for a wander with these, and of course, you're getting that full surround effect. That's full stereo effect with where directions are coming from, and of course, you're still able to hear your surroundings as well, which is really important. So there I was, headed off on the journey. And it was great. And it was incredible because all the way along, as you got to an intersection, the first question I had was, okay, do I go left or right here? But there was no voice saying turn left, turn right, or at the next junction, do this. Nothing like that. All you were getting was this faint ba-bum, 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 ba-bum coming from a direction. And I thought, well, that must be the direction I'm going in. I know how Soundscape works. So it's giving you an audible signal of where to head. But it was actually doing it at each intersection. So as you got to an intersection, it would start beeping at the position it wanted you to go. So then you would say, for example, turn right. So you would hear it from the right, you would turn right, and as you walked straight on, that would then center again. The beacon would then go away, and then as the next intersection, as you arrived at that beacon would come back in the position of where to go. So again, in this case, I was turning left. which meant crossing the road. So I then knew, okay, I have to cross the road and turn left. And it was telling me as I was going along where things were. It was telling me about businesses I was passing. It was telling me information. Again, I live in a small village. So there's not a lot going on. But information, and maybe that's a good thing, actually, because it wasn't bombarding me with information. It was just giving me, faint information about where things were. But it was good and it was clear. And what amazed me is I found my way through this housing estate, this lovely little estate, wandered through and found the door fairly easy. The door was another story, because I'm basically arriving at someone's house.
Trying to find the garage.
Navigating through cars and kind of hoping that I'm in the right house because they're all very closely packed together, right? But I did manage to find it. No one came out to help me. I did manage to find the door. And that was it. I was in.
People usually find me when I'm trying to find their door because I'm banging around their car or up and down their drive or trampling their flowers. Yeah. So, yes, someone usually comes out. But I've got to say, that's quite brave of you, I wouldn't... Let's be clear. You're not getting turn-by-turn directions here. You're not getting, go forward 150 feet and then turn left, right? Mm-hmm. None of that. All we're getting is that it's almost dynamic beacons. So it's plotting the route itself. And it's just taking you to the next step. And then the beacon changes to the next place it wants you to get to. And you're just following that beep, 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 beep sound from left to right.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
The only bit that threw me was it said 46 meters till destination. And I thought, goodness, it's nearer than I thought. And then when I got to that beacon, it would say 56 meters to next destination or the destination. And I realized, okay, what that should really say is beacon rather than destination because that's not the destination. But I guess it is the destination as far as the map is concerned.
The next step in the route. Yeah, that's right. It's very good, though. Very good. I tell you what, I love Voice Vista and Soundscape. Let's not forget. But I think this routing is only in Voice Vista. I haven't seen it in Soundscape.
Listen,
but
I know that it's a donation-based thing, isn't it? You donate as much as you want or as much as you can.
Yes.
You don't pay a subscription for this. I'll be putting some money in that tin for sure today because that is so worth it to support a developer who's putting so much effort in to making navigation easier. That is, I live in it's a fairly out of town, out of city kind of location. I was not expecting it to even know where the place I was going was. I learned when I got there that the place I was going was only there for 2 weeks. It had only just been opened up.
Yeah.
So it's not, that's the map, isn't it? It's not.
That's the mapping data it's plugging into, So, but I just think, he's done so much work on it. I love the interface as well. It just feels really easy to use. But the reason I said, don't just go with like Google Maps or whatever turn-by-turn GPS is because I just find it so responsive. Voice Vista, Soundscape, when I'm coming up, I know it's 30 steps. As soon as it says, intersection coming up, whatever road, I know it's about 30 steps to actually hit that turn. Do you get that sound? Because I don't know if it's different on each one or you can customize it, but there's like a sound that starts. It's like it's like a thing that's kind of rising up towards. Yeah, yes. and there was a lot of things. There was a kind of Las Vegas casino feel sometimes, and I'm not kidding you, because it was literally like, I've been in a Las Vegas casino, and it was like I was there again. And I didn't know what that was all about. Like a little ting when you sort of tick off that part of you've hit that beacon. Right. Ting! Okay, now we're on to the next one. So, but really interesting, really, I just think it's one of those things, we talk about so much of this technology and how it sounds great. The concept is great. It may work fantastic when you're in your living room trying this stuff out. But until you're out there actually using it with traffic noise going on, a bit of anxiety happening, trying to fiddle around with your touchscreen, until you actually use it out there, you don't know how well it's going to work for you. But Voice Vista's never let me down. Well, so two things to be aware of. So when I was leaving the house, I just set the destination before I left and put the phone in the bag. Didn't have to take the phone out again until I got to one point in the route where I was using the Meta Ray-Bans and I asked Meta what the time was. And from that point on, it either lost the route or it just stopped all the sound effects coming through. So suddenly there was no sound effects. Yes. And I thought, I have had that myself. That's weird. So you had to, basically I went back in, I started the route again just to ensure that, because at that point I was quite close, but I was, that way, that's the point where you really need it, okay? Because I have no idea where I am now, and I have no idea where I'm meant to be, and there's no one around. Everyone's gone to work, so I have no idea
who to ask. And so, thankfully, and it was funny because at that point I was probably about 30 meters away. And I wouldn't have known that. So, it's just such a fantastic app. The guy there, I know you've been in contact with him. We really must get him on just to say thank you, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's such a fantastic app. But no, that's not what's made me shaky today. Foot doctor went well, by the way. Everything was fine. I still have a foot.
That was a tangent.
So, yeah. No, what made me shaky was last night I had one of those dreams where I woke up sweating and panicking.
Oh, because?
The dream was my iPhone had been hacked and it had been taken over by someone called Kevin.
Oh, no, not Kev. What's he done?
And he had managed to change my Apple ID or take control of everything on my phone. So I couldn't get in, and everything was in Chinese. Like everything on the screen, but it wasn't even Chinese. It was just changing language. It was kind of doing, that thing that happens in movies where it's not really making any sense. It's just coming out in like 15 different languages and it's all nonsense. Yes. Well, it was kind of that. And then I realized my Mac would have been affected because it's obviously, connected with the Apple ID. So I couldn't get into that.
Apple anxiety you're having here that you can't use for whatever reason.
I couldn't
your Apple
call
devices.
anyone. I couldn't do anything.
Oh,
and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And I'm sitting there thinking, I really it's funny, in that moment, I'm like, I really should have set up that Motorola G54 properly, It's like I should have really spent more time setting it up for daily use, because if this was to happen, and I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I may be watching too many documentaries, I don't know.
That could be to do with me constantly going on that I've been logged out of all my apps, everything, because I've switched phones. So I did a backup of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and then I switched to an iPhone 11. So I restored the backup from the iPhone 15 onto the iPhone 11. Everything's fine. Great. Everything's where it should be. No change here, except, of course, unless you do it through connecting it to a computer, encrypted backup, you lose all your logins. You've got to log into everything again.
I think you lose a lot of them when they are encrypted as well now, though. It's not. It used to be the perfect way to do it, but it doesn't. It used to
be a password protected would make sure that you retained all your password settings and everything was still logged in. I haven't done it. Who connects it to their computer anymore, to be honest?
I know. I don't do that.
And I thought, well, everything's in the keychain, right? So when you go to log in, it says autofill. So everything's there anyway. It's going to be easy. I forgot that there's some things out there with two-factor authentication which require you to... We've sent a notification to YouTube. Yeah, but I'm not signed into any YouTube anywhere because I restored it off one where I wasn't logged in and now I can't log in. Yeah, but we've sent it to your YouTube. Just click on, yes, it's me. I can't. So I'm out of Google. I can't log into any Google services right now. And the annoying thing is it says, try another way to authenticate. Okay, so in the list, there's use authenticator. I've tried that. I can't log in because I've sent a notification for you to log into YouTube. Oh. So, okay, can't use that. And the other one is send a code through your text message to this number. Oh, sorry, you can't use this option because there's more secure options available to you. So I'm just out. It's really annoying. The other way is, I don't know. But it says it takes up to 3 to 5 days to sort out. So I'm going to have to go down that route. But it's surprising. I just thought, I've got this. I'll just back up, straight back into everything, up and running, within an hour. That didn't work out for me.
And, have we explained why we're doing all this? Have you explained why you're in this position? Why I'm also in this position? Have we told anyone this?
I'm still slightly traumatized by it all, to be honest.
This is because Apple wanted their phones back. That's just basically it.
It was so sudden. I just has that been a year?
Yeah.
And I think the exciting thing about this is the way that we sent them back. Stephen Scott, do we even want to go there?
I don't know if we do. I don't think we should highlight the mess that is what is coming back to you, Apple. But that's what happens when you startle a blind person.
Yes.
You will find everything turns into a TV aerial almost instantly when it looks like packaging. Or should look like packaging.
Mine looked like a 4-year-old had packaged mine. It was sellotape, tissue paper all over it. Oh, it was terrible. But I got everything together. The iPhone was in a box, so that's the main thing.
Mine might be in an Android box, which is kind of amusing, but we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
If Apple ever speak to us again. We are hoping to get some new phones from Apple, though. So we'll talk about that near the time.
Yes.
But yeah, that's quite interesting. Anyway, look, I want to mention OpenAI Dev Day because that was the other day. We didn't get a chance to mention it yesterday. But it was quite an interesting event. I mean, very, very developer focused. This is deep into the kind of coding and how artificial intelligence can work for companies and businesses and potential developers and apps and all of that. There was one feature that kind of stood out, though, I think, above all, which was the real-time API. The ability now for them to offer developers the chance to implement speech-to-speech conversations right away into an application and get a direct response back. So essentially now you can talk to an app when a developer builds this into something. You'll be able to talk to the app and get an instant response. What was happening before was essentially whatever you were saying to the device was being transcribed by OpenAI's Whisper application. Transcribed by it, sent off, analyzed, response considered, and then sent back. So there was a delay in the response. So when you would speak to a device, that's why you would get these kind of thinking bubbles and, bum, 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 bum,
Who thinks about before they respond? That's ridiculous.
Exactly. I want instant response. No thought at all.
Speak.
That's the way I do it. And yeah, that's basically how it is now. So it is almost predicting now as you speak. It's kind of doing that Google prediction thing where it kind of knows what you're going to say or thinks it knows what you're going to say and then forms a response that it comes back with you instantly. And that can, of course, be used for a number of different applications. A couple of applications immediately coming to mind are customer call centers, because you could call up and speak to a robot. You no longer have to wait any longer to speak. And let's be honest, for a lot of tasks, I'm finding I'm using the robot more than I used to. I used to hate when I'd hear the robotic voice because I think, oh no, this is going to be terrible. Yeah. But it's getting better. And arguably, I think in time, it will get better to the stage that people won't want to speak to humans anymore. They'll be happy to speak to the robot. So we shall see.
Depends. Depends what the task is.
Well, that's right. And the other one which is shown was an app, which I think it's called Speak. And this app is to help you learn a language. So the idea is you can talk. It will ask you to repeat something and you repeat it. But instead of just giving you a phrase to say, repeat this, and then you repeat it and then it carries on, it's able to listen and it's able to analyze even fragments of your speech. So say you said a phrase in Spanish and you got the middle part wrong. It can say, okay, if you just said it this way, you'd get it 100% right. And that's the clever part of this real-time API. It's able to analyze what you're saying, not the words you've said. And I think that's quite interesting. So we'll see how that develops over time. At this stage, of course, this is all for development. But it was interesting. It was a really interesting event. Very geeky. And of course, a lot of the headlines around OpenAI at the minute are around the internal struggles they seem to be having. But, I'm kind of watching this from the outside just with interest to see where all this goes because OpenAI are leading the field in this. There's no doubt they are leading the field.
Absolutely. I mean, it was so impressive when they unveiled that conversation, that real time, being able to interrupt the voice, being able to fall over a word and then just pick up without having to cancel and start again. All that was incredibly impressive. But, we are seeing the other ones catching up. We're seeing Google catch up. We're seeing with the recent Meta Connect event, that Llama 3.2, the conversation was, again, just as impressive as OpenAI. It's just, it's constant leapfrogging of each other at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, look, with all that news, lots of exciting stuff going on. There's one story, though, that really has, I think, shook the blind community to its core. Oh. I was stunned when I learned this. And I think those of you who don't know yet will be equally as stunned.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Shaun is using Jaws.
Yes. Yes, I am.
What's going on? What's happening? Has Shaun won the lottery? Questions are being asked on Mastodon and across social media. People have stopped what they're doing. They've stopped blaming each other for all the world's problems.
Yes.
And they've turned to you. Yeah, you've actually united people who would never be united.
That's why
I think you could solve world conflicts, Shaun Priest, with just this announcement.
Well, it's more like someone, tooted or tweeted out or posted somewhere that I'm using Jaws, and all of a sudden everything goes. Did that? Yes, thank you, Steven Scott.
You're welcome.
Luckily enough, I'm not logged into anything at the moment, so I'm not seeing any notifications, but I will get to that. Yeah, well, I've been saying for the longest time that I want to try out these features in Jaws. So I downloaded it ages ago, but I actually took the step of installing it and turning off NVDA and just biting the bullet. Now, for the first half an hour to an hour, I hate the insert key, Stephen Scott. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's the best thing ever.
How dare you, sir? It's all the way over on the right-hand side. You want the caps lock key.
Get a grip.
Anyway, so after asking many questions, I found out how to change it.
How do you make the caps lock key?
Did you know? Did you know?
My poor little fingers can't go all the way over.
I'm trying to make the transition as easy as possible. I've been using NVDA for years and years. But you know what? Yeah, it's fine. I'm loving it. There are a few things, I'm assuming user error, that I'm struggling with at the minute. But
it's a lot to learn.
I love being able just to pick Ava, as default, not having to go off, download anything, install anything. The voices are really nice. Despite thinking that the layer menu was going to be an absolute nightmare to learn, it's so easy. I think I've got it all. The shift ? Just is so helpful. The Jules key H, when you're in an app to get the Jules-specific keyboard shortcuts for that app, is amazing. Yep. I tried it in WhatsApp. It was fantastic. So yeah, I'm loving it. And so far, the feature for me is face in view.
Yes.
We've talked about all the others, right? And they're fine. They're great. They work well. But face in view was just absolutely amazing. Because it was all real time, constantly updating when I was moving. It was saying, look to the left, rather than move to the left when I was looking the wrong way. And then it was saying, tilt your head up when I was looking too far down. Because I was doing this on purpose, trying to see what it would say. Because usually it says, you're in the center of the frame, or you're to the left of frame. But this goes far further than that. And I thought it was amazing, to be honest.
So the question everyone's asking is, why now? What's caused this? Because you're happy with NVDA, right? There's no
extremely
reason
happy.
For you to move away from it. So why now the interest in JAWS?
Well, I'll tell you what it is. It was Lisi. It was your reaction to Lisi. I thought, if it's that good, I want to try it
out. I think you're quite right. I mean, look, Lisi is amazing. I would say to you, they'll probably get a handle on JAWS first.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I'm doing JAWS and I'm trying to learn Reaper at the same time.
Yeah. That's a lot going on.
I'm overflowing with keyboard shortcuts at the minute. But, I mean, there is a lot of crossover. As we all know, most other screen readers sort of look at JAWS and go, oh, those keyboard shortcuts. Lots of people know them. Let's sort of do the same thing. So a lot of the keyboard shortcuts are transferable anyway. So it's not too difficult. It's just slightly different. Each screen reader does things in a slightly different way. But, hey, I'm getting there. And I've got to say, it's very good.
I have to also say a huge thank you on your behalf, because I know you haven't been checking out Mastodon, but you really should, because there's a lot of people who have been offering help and support and saying, look, if you need support in this or you want to ask questions, this is an open forum. So, do that. I think that's great. And I love how we all come together on that kind of stuff. That this is where I think, if I'm honest, as much as I go on about Mastodon, not being necessarily the nirvana some might think it is, and I still to this day don't think it is, what is true is there is a wonderful community of blind people there who are there. And you don't have to follow a few to kind of get started in that world. And, it's not a community that you feel is necessarily separate or having a conversation that you don't understand or aren't part of. It's not like that. It's quite pleasant. You can kind of jump into any conversation, or you can just start a conversation. It's very easy. And there never seems to be any judgment in that regard around that stuff. It's not like some of the forums that we've been on in the past where you instantly get that dismissal. Blind people can be very nasty, or all people can be nasty in that regard. But, blind people can be rather nasty to other blind people sometimes. And you kind of think, you've got to stop that nonsense.
It feels very inclusive, very welcoming, I've got to say. It doesn't feel like, sometimes if you join a group, it feels like, the click thing. And we've spoken about this before. It's understandable. Yeah. People know each other from, ages or whatever. But I think you're right. It's funny, as I was packing away my iPhone, I was just getting notification. So-and-so has added you or started to follow you on Mastodon. And then it got to about 10 or 20 of them. And I thought, okay, something terrible has happened. And I actually said, okay, Stephen, what have you posted? You just posted our Mastodon handles or names.
Yeah, because I've got my own account as well, and I don't use it that often, but I want to get into using it more often.
So do I.
Because we have the double tap account, and it's someone rather amusingly said, does Stephen often refer to himself in the third person? You know, people. I love our audience because they know me so well. They know it's me that's doing the toots, right? They know no one else is doing it. They know you're not doing it. So I was like, yeah, it's a good point. But equally, there are things I want to say that aren't necessarily the voice of double tap either. So I kind of, I might just want to comment on something. And so I like my own account for that, and the same for you. So yeah, you can follow us. You can find double tap on Mastodon. Call us, contact us through that as well. But yeah, I think it's so cool. And speaking of apps, because I know we're going to do this properly, because we started kind of doing these app reviews of sorts, but we're going to get into this more properly in the next couple of weeks. But I want to mention one particular app, which was highlighted by a well-known voice in our community, and that is Jonathan Mosen, of course, who we have to salute because he's packed away his podcast he's been doing for a long time.
He has hung up his headphones.
He's been doing a show called Living Blindfully for a long time, formerly Mosen at Large. And that show's been around for a long time and a huge part of the community. That has now gone. Thankfully, Jonathan hasn't. He's moved on and is now working with the National Federation of the Blind and promises more podcasts down the line, which I think is fantastic. And that'll be interesting to hear what comes out of all that. But he was mentioning on social media just, I think, a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of days ago, about an app called Parcel. Now, I don't know if you use Parcel.
Do you know what? It's one of those where I just assumed it was US only for the longest time.
Ah, well, it is definitely not anymore. Honestly, what an amazing app. So this is an app which runs on your iPhone and also runs on your Mac. No Android, unfortunately, and no Windows. However, there is an upside on that front. So they have a couple of functionalities. So basically, it's a very simple app, very, very simple. It will take the tracking number from any email you have. You just grab the tracking number, you can copy it, and you paste it immediately. And in fact, when you go to the Parcel app, it says, do you want to paste? Because it knows you've got a tracking number in this. Do you want to paste this in? So you say, yes, allow paste. And it just drops in the tracking number. You can give it a name if you know what the parcel is. You could just drop it in, or you can give it a nickname. And that's it. You just add it, and suddenly it is there. And it will give you up to the minute information about this package, and way more information than you'd ever get from anyone else. Now, it does depend to some degree on the tracking company or the parcel company.
Yeah.
But most of them are delivering a lot of information. And I was able to track parcels at every single step and know exactly where parcels were on their journey. And it's fascinating to just track where they come from sometimes. So that whole journey is there. So that's pretty cool.
Is this like train spotting? Are you watching a parcel just as it moves?
Pretty much, yeah. It's become a bit like that. Yeah. It's like I feel like I've put the AirTag in it already. I'm just following it. But also, hang on. This is one, I have to mention this because this is a huge feature. I don't want to forget about it. Amazon integration, which is just the best thing ever. So it connects to your Amazon account, and anytime you buy something on Amazon, you don't have to go and find the tracking number. It automatically puts it right into the Parcel app. So you can just go straight to the Parcel app and know exactly where your parcel is.
That's beautiful. Now, I have heard about this before. As I said, I wasn't sure it was supported where I was. But even so, I mean, do you track a lot of parcels? Do you
track everything?
Really?
Yeah, because we have parcels that maybe, and usually it's parcels when you buy something not from Amazon. Although it's got the Amazon integration. But it's the stuff that, we had something the other day. My wife could not figure out if this parcel had arrived or not. And we've got various parts in the garden that they could put things, and we didn't know if they did.
Yeah.
So we weren't even sure if it had arrived or not. It was definitely due to be there days earlier. So I said to my wife, send me the email with the tracking number in it. I'll put the tracking number in, and we'll try it into the app. And it instantly told us that it had got so far on the journey and then been sent back to where it had originated. So we knew it was back. So we were able to track that.
That is actually very useful because, thinking about it, anything but Amazon, which I can track on the in the Amazon app anyway. But saying that, not the most accessible thing. I get it's like 7 stops away, but that could still take 3 days or something. Yeah. I would like a bit more information I can access with that. But anything but Amazon, there's times where, I was expecting it today, nothing showed up. And if you try and call and actually speak to someone about that, it's nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
It's, you may get a chatbot, enter the number, and we'll give you some information, but sometimes that's not helpful enough. It may be, there is no information available on this. What do you do then?
Well, I had this situation today where I had a parcel that's coming. I took the tracking number. I was able to, as soon as I got, this is so brilliant. I get to the tracking number, right? So I just tab to the link, which is the tracking number in the email. And I perform on the Mac, the right click, which is VO-Shift-M. And in the drop-down menu, in the context menu that shows up, add to parcel is in there. So you just add to parcel, bump, in it goes, straight in, and it immediately told me where the parcel was. And that it had passed through, I think it said it had just gone through customs and it had been cleared and it will be out for delivery shortly. I think a notification 2 hours later saying it was en route and it would be here at this certain time. And that's on the Mac, right? So you've got the parcel, you can also add that as a widget on your Mac home screen if you wanted to, and that's pretty cool. But, what about Windows users or what about Android people?
Yes.
Well, for Android, sadly, there's not a lot you can do there. They don't have an Android version of the app yet. But for Windows, there is a web version of Parcel, which I only found out about yesterday. So they actually have a web version, which is just a website. You sign in with Apple. You've got the sign in with Apple button. And you can sign in using your secure credentials and it will show you a table, all accessible, nice table with all the information that you need, all the latest parcels at the top and, all the information about them. So honestly, if you were ever considering going down the route of Parcel, I was emailing back and forth with the developer this morning. He's such a cool guy, very quick response as well. And the one feature I was kind of hoping he still had, because there was talk of this on Mastodon the other night, there was a talk about an email feature where you could email to Parcel and it would extract the tracking information out of the email for you. But he stopped that. He says, unfortunately, I had to stop doing that. He said, partly because a lot of the emails now don't contain tracking numbers. Amazon, eBay, they don't often do that anymore. So you have to go off and try and find it. He said, however, there is a snip extension or what do they call it? There was a name for it, but it's basically a share extension. We'll put the link to all this in the show notes so people can find it. Basically, it's an extension for your browser, and it can just immediately go off to, if you get a tracking number on a web page, you can just share it straight to Parcel from there. So honestly, so cool, so cool, simple but incredibly effective, and its premium is like £5 a year or something, or maybe it's more than that, I don't know, but it's not a lot of money.
Okay, that was my first question after this is, how much does it cost? But that sounds reasonable enough. That's very good. Yeah, I think I'm going to give that a go.
Call the Double Tappers now, 1-877-803-4567, or email us, feedback@doubletaponair.com.
Now, if you have got yourself a shiny new pair of Meta Ray-Bans or you're considering it, you might want to know how best to set them up. Well, thankfully, Shaun has created this rather helpful guide in a return of the popular Shaun of the Shed.
The Meta Ray-Ban glasses. They're just so cool, and not because they're Ray-Ban, no, but because they have amazing speakers built in. They have a camera and microphone built in, meaning that you can take pictures and videos really easily, but more than that, if you get stuck, like we all do, then you can make a video call to someone and they can see exactly what the glasses are seeing and help you out. But more than that, they've got AI built in as well, which means, well, who knows? Yes, you can ask questions. Yes, you can take pictures and take video and make calls using your voice. But hey, the potential is amazing. So, I love them. I'm sure you will too. So if you're lucky enough to get your hands on these, I'm going to show you how to set them up.
Shaun of the Shed, an AMI original podcast.
Now, I'm using an iPhone, but the app that needs to be downloaded is available for Android as well. And I'm told the setup process is pretty much the same and it's accessible using TalkBack. So the app we're looking for, go to your favorite app store and search for MetaView. That's METAVIEW. You can throw a space in there if you want, it doesn't matter. And you will find the MetaView app. So tap that button to download it, and we're off. Now let me quickly describe the glasses before we start. They do come in a very nice case, And this case just doesn't keep them safe. It actually charges them as well. There's no charging port on the glasses themselves. It's all done through the case, and it's very nice. There's a USB-C port on the bottom of the case and a little button for pairing the glasses on the back side at the bottom center of the case. Very easy, very nice, and wow, I've barely charged this thing and they keep charging my glasses. So I love it. Now, the glasses themselves, on the left arm, and yes, it is called an arm, on the left arm, on the inside, so nearest your face, and towards the hinge is a power switch, a little sliding power switch. Now, you shouldn't need to worry about this. By default, as you take them out of the box, it will be on anyway. But if you have any problems with them, you can just switch them off and switch them back on again. We all know that fixes everything. On the right arm, on the outside of the glasses, there is a touch surface. You use this to swipe and tap on to control things like answering calls, turning up the volume, and things like that. Also on the right arm, on the top side, near the hinge, is a capture button. You press it once to take a picture, press and hold for a few seconds to start taking a video. And then when you want to stop recording, simply press it again to stop. And that's it. Really simple. And the controls work really well. But anyway, let's open up the MetaView app and get these things set up. Okay, so I've put on 2 pairs of headphones so I can hear what I need to hear, but more importantly, you can hear what's going on as well. So let's open up the MetaView app.
MetaView button.
Now I'm going to single tap with 4 fingers at the top of the screen. I'm going to do that a lot because it jumps focus back up to the top of the screen, on the iPhone at least.
Button.
And let's swipe through.
Ray-Ban Meta. Image. Panran. Zeros. The next generation of smart glasses. Get started. Button.
Get started button. Let's go.
Get started. Close. Button. Meta logo. Profile photo. Button. Image. Shaun Preece.
Okay, so the first thing we come to is a login screen. Now, being a Meta product, obviously you can log in using your Facebook details or your Instagram details, or I believe even just using a standard email. But as I've got Facebook installed on my phone, my account details are already here, and I'm just going to use them and tap on login.
Login. Button. Loading. Ellipsis. 73%. 73%. Signing in. Ellipsis. Save your login info. Heading.
Now it's asking me if I want to save the details so I don't have to log in every time. Of course I want to do that. Let's swipe on.
We'll save the login info for Shaun Preece. Save. Button.
Double tap.
Ray-Ban Meta. Image. Panon. 00 Meta. Panon. 0.
Okay, don't know what it's saying there, describing an image. Let's swipe on.
Let's get started. Continue. Button.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Ray-Ban Meta. Alert. Allow MetaView to find Bluetooth devices.
Now you're going to get a lot of notifications through this process, allowing your phone to connect to Bluetooth devices, location and things like that. So let's swipe on.
This allows your phone to find and connect to the glasses using a Bluetooth connection. Map. Map in. 50 devices. Information from Bluetooth device. Don't allow. Button. Allow. Button.
Allow. That's all I'm interested in.
MetaView. Ray-Ban Meta. Button. Ray-Ban Stories. Button. Ray-Ban Stories. Button.
I forgot to do the 4-finger single tap at the top of the screen to start.
Center justified.
Here we go.
Page 1 of 2. Back. Button. Select device. Heading.
Select a device.
Ray-Ban Meta. Button.
That's the ones I've got.
Ray-Ban Stories. Button.
That was the ones from a few years ago, but let's select
Ray-Ban Meta. Button.
Ray-Ban Meta.
On the back side of the glasses case, the pairing button is positioned centrally near the bottom edge. Image. A-band vertical line Meta.
Okay, so now it's asking me to pair the glasses. Let's swipe on.
Get your glasses ready for pairing. Heading. 1. Remove the protective tab and leave the glasses inside the case.
Now, yes, obviously I've already removed the protective tab, but when you get your glasses new out of the box, there is a little plastic tab when you open the cover. Obviously, that stops them from depleting the battery. So pull that off, and then next.
2. Wait 30 seconds for the case LED to turn blue.
So the little popper that holds down the cover for the case is actually an LED. Now, it doesn't make much difference to me. I can't see it either way, but if you can see it, then that's handy. It gives you some indicators.
3. If the case LED doesn't turn blue, press and hold the pairing button on the back of the case for 5 seconds. Release when blue LED light turned on, button. OK's, button.
Okay, so the two options, or the two buttons I've got here, is the LED is on, or I don't have a case. I don't know what happens there. But let me just grab the case right now. Now, as I said, I've no idea if the blue LED is on or not. But just to make sure, I'm going to hold down the pairing button, as it said, on the rear of the case for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then let go. And now I'm going to assume that it's flashing blue. Who knows? Let's find out. So I'm going to tap on
No case, button. Blue LED light turned on,
that
button.
one. Double tap.
Searching.
Come on now.
Back button.
Okay, let's see what it said.
Device found. Heading.
Hey, there we go.
Choose your device below. Ray-Ban vertical line meta. Heading.
Yes.
RB meta 00 deciliters.
I don't know why they're called that. Decilators? That's a scary naming thing, but okay.
Connect to device Ray-Ban vertical line meta. Button.
Let's just tap on that.
Back. Bluetooth pairing request. The pairing code will not be displayed.
Good.
Simply tap pair to continue.
Tap pair.
Alert. Bluetooth pairing request.
Okay.
RB meta 00 deciliters would like to pair with your iPhone. Confirm that the code. Cancel. Pair. Button.
I'm just going to hit pair quickly.
Back button. Device found. Get notifications about your devices. Heading. Turn on notifications to get important info on your phone's lock screen. You can review and update your push notification
I
preferences.
heard a vibration. I felt a vibration coming from the glasses there. Let me just see what this screen says.
Get notifications about your devices. Heading. Turn on push notifications to get important info on your phone's lock screen. You can review and update your push notification preferences for...
Okay, so this screen is just asking me to allow notifications from this app. Of course, I'm going to do that.
Continue. Button. Continue. Alert. MetaView would like to send you notifications. Notification. Don't allow. Button. Allow. Button.
Just going to swipe through until I get to allow and double tap.
Learn the basics. Heading.
Okay, so now we have a little tutorial. Do we want to do this? Why not? Let's go through it.
Put on your glasses.
Now, hopefully you could hear that as I opened the glasses up and put them on. Okay, here we go. Let's swipe through.
Press the capture button once. Important. The LED blinks to show others that you're capturing.
Okay, so remember that capture button by the hinge on the right arm. Press that once.
Completed. 1 of 6.
Oh, and it took a picture. You heard the sound there, and wow, it's jumping on. It's not giving me a chance. It said step completed, I think, or task completed, and we're on the next one. Let's swipe through.
Press and hold the capture button. Important. The LED blinks to show others that you're capturing.
Cool.
Skip button.
You could skip it, but let's do it. So I'm going to press and hold for a couple of seconds, that capture button. There was the sound saying it's recording. And to stop recording, just press it again.
Step completed. 3 of 6.
Step completed. Close. Okay, swipe on.
Tap the touchpad once. Important. The LED blinks to show others that you're capturing.
Okay, calm down.
Tap the touchpad once. Important.
Okay. So there is no skip button on that one. So again, the touch surface is on the right arm, just around about where the temple is on your head, on the outside right arm.
Step completed. 4 of 6.
I just did a one finger single tap on that area.
Touchpad is located along the right temple, halfway between the frames and your ear. Heading.
Okay, adjust volume. For that, we swipe towards the hinge on that touch area with one finger.
Step completed. 5 of 6.
Yes. Next.
Tap the touchpad once.
I've done that.
Tap the touchpad once.
All right, I'll do it again.
Step completed. 6 of 6. Animation description. Tap the 73% battery power. Not charging.
Okay. My focus has jumped again, so let's go back.
Use Meta.
There we go. I'm just touch and explore to find the put focus back on the main screen.
Use Meta AI to get information. Control your glasses and ask about what you see, such as identifying a plant or translating a restaurant menu.
Cool. That's something I didn't mention at the start there. You can hold a menu or any document up, really, and you can ask it to give you details from it. It will not read the entire thing. You can't use it to read your post, for example. But something like a menu, it can be quite handy, and hopefully it will get better. So I'm in the UK, and Meta AI is available. It's also available in America and Canada, and I'm sure other countries around the world. And if you haven't got it yet, you will do. So let's enable this. Let's see what it says. I'm going to swipe
Continue.
on.
Button. Enable Meta AI. Heading.
Continue. Yes.
Get assistance from AI. Heading.
Yes.
You can ask Meta AI questions, including about what you see, and control your glasses hands-free. You're in control. Heading. Meta AI only captures voice and images when you interact with it. Turn off camera use. Delete Meta AI interactions or disable Meta AI at any time in settings.
Nice. Privacy.
Help improve Meta AI. Heading.
Nice. Privacy.
Images processed with Meta AI, voice transcripts and related data may be used to enable Meta AI and improve Meta's products. Learn more about Meta AI and your privacy. Link.
Obviously, if you're concerned about that, definitely read that link.
Your voice is recorded, transcribed and processed as explained in the privacy notice. Link. Data is sometimes sent to trusted partners to provide better responses. Some AI responses may be inaccurate or inappropriate. By enabling, you agree to Meta's AI terms.
Okay, let's just shut it up for a second. We know the score with these. Let's swipe on.
Enable Meta AI. Button.
That's what we want. Double tap.
Store voice recordings to improve Meta products. Heading.
Okay, so do you want Meta to have access to your recordings? That's entirely up to you. I'm just going to jump to the bottom.
Don't store. Button.
Don't store. Double tap.
Say, hey Meta, to tap allow while using the app and then tap change to always allow for location features to work while the app is closed and to optimize your experience.
Okay, so this screen is asking for location permissions. It wants to know where you are, which is handy, really. So let's see.
Next. Button.
Next. Double tap.
Alert. Allow Meta View to use your location.
Yes. I'm going to choose always allow, I think.
Don't allow while you allow while using app. Button.
Allow while using app or
Don't allow. Button.
don't allow.
Don't allow. Button. Allow while using app. Button. Allow once. Button.
Okay, so allow while using app. I'm going to go with that.
Allow while using app. Button. Alert. Allow Meta View to also use your location even when you are not using the app.
Oh, okay.
Some location features need always allow access to work while the app is closed. Keep only while using. Button. Change to always allow. Button.
I'm going to go with that. But again, if you have any concerns, then go with whatever you think.
Meta View. Say, hey Meta, what's the tallest building in the world? Now say, how long did it take to build? Heading.
Hey Meta, what's the tallest building in the world?
The tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, standing at 2,717 feet.
How long did it take to build?
The Burj Khalifa took around 6 years to build, from January 2004 to October 2009.
Thank you. Okay.
Say, hey Meta, look and describe what I'm seeing. Heading.
Hey Meta, look and describe what I'm seeing.
You are seeing a dimly lit room with a computer monitor, keyboard, and other equipment. There is also an image of someone on the screen.
That's me. Okay.
Various scenarios. Say, hey Meta, look and describe what I'm seeing. Heading. Well done. Heading. You can customize your Meta AI experience, button controls, video length and camera features in settings at any time.
Okay, let's stop there for 1 second. So as you heard, it took me through a little tutorial of how to use the Meta AI there, which was cool. And when I said the trigger word and I asked a question, it allowed me to ask a follow-up question without having to say that trigger word again. That's what it was showing there, which is nice. Okay, let's see what's next.
Next button. Various scenarios of people asking Meta, change your preferences and settings at any time.
Okay.
Learn more about sharing additional data. Link. Share button. Don't share button. Share additional data for a better experience. Heading.
Okay, focus jumps around quite a bit here. But this is, again, about how much data you want to share. Again, entirely up to you. I'm going to jump to the bottom with a single tap with 4 fingers at the bottom of the screen.
Don't share button.
Double tap.
Don't share. Is it okay to capture here? Are people around you aware? If you're unsure, just ask. Let the LED light shine. Heading. Show others the capture LED when you're recording so that you won't surprise them. Stay safe. Heading. Do not use features that could distract your attention. Consider turning off your glasses to stay focused.
Never. Okay, so this is just some advice and tips on using the glasses here.
Done button.
Done. Double tap.
Ray-Ban Meta. Image. Get ready to capture. Hey fan. Oh Meta.
Okay, that's just, again, a weird image description. Swipe on.
Get more from your glasses. Heading. Connect music apps. Use your glasses to control Amazon Music, Apple Music and Spotify. Button. Communicate hands-free. Connect WhatsApp, Messenger, Instagram, Facebook and your phone with your glasses. Button. Customize voice settings. Meta AI is set to English. Choose a language and voice for Meta AI. Button.
Okay, so this is the home screen of the app. We have actually set up the glasses. That was pretty painless, wasn't it? But there is some more to do here. As you heard, the home screen gives you various features and advice how to set them up. And you can double tap on any of these to go directly to the settings. Now, one of the most useful features, I think, is the ability to make, in my case, a WhatsApp video call. Because as I mentioned, I get stuck now and again and I need a little bit of help. So I want to make a call to a family member and I can initiate a video call. They can see what I can see, well, what the glasses could see, and, guide me around. It's great. So I'm going to quickly show you before I go how to set up the video calling feature. So I could just double tap on the card, let's call it, in the home screen, but let's go to the settings. Again, I'm going to do a 4-finger single tap at the bottom of the screen.
Do this later. Button. Connected. Glasses back.
I'm going to get rid of the set up the voice control window there, and let's do it again. Settings. I'm going to double tap.
Search icon identifier. Image. Search.
Okay, now let's just swipe through and I'll show you what I need to get to.
Device settings. Heading. Add device. Button. Ray-Ban vertical line Meta. Wayfarer. Heading. Connected. Glasses battery 100%. Your glasses. Button. Glasses privacy. Button. Meta AI. Button. Audio. Button. Camera. Button. Communication. Button.
There we go. So double tap here.
Communicate hands-free. Hear announcements for incoming calls and messages. And share to Instagram and Facebook. See quick controls guide. Button.
Swipe on.
Calling and messaging. Heading. Your phone. Network provider charges may apply. Connect. Button.
Okay, so here we have... Calm down. Here we have 3 options. You can connect the glasses to make phone calls, connect the glasses to make WhatsApp calls, or Messenger calls. I'm not actually sure what connecting for the phone does because we're already connected via Bluetooth. But I think it opens and asks you for access to your contacts list. I'll do that later, but for now, let's swipe on. Okay, this is what I want to do. Let's double tap on this.
Cancel. Button.
And let's swipe on.
Use WhatsApp with your glasses. When you use WhatsApp with your glasses, the contents of your personal messages and calls are always secured with end-to-end encryption. Not even WhatsApp can read or listen to them. Learn more about your privacy on WhatsApp. Link. Continue. Button.
Continue.
User alert. Face not recognized.
That's because I've got so much on my face. Let's try that again.
Try again. Try again. Try Face ID again. Button. Face ID authenticated. Control announcements for calling and messaging in Meta. Learn more about privacy for your glasses. Connect your glasses. Button. Connect your glasses. Button.
Let's double tap on that.
Connect your WhatsApp. Meta View. Disconnect WhatsApp. Button.
And that's it. Simple as that. Now my WhatsApp is connected. Now obviously I already had WhatsApp installed on my phone here, and I was logged in, so make sure you have that all set up before you try to connect to it, obviously. But basically, that's it. Have a play around, look through the settings. You can set the amount of the length of the video you record. You can choose a voice for your AI and much more. You can share your pictures to Facebook or Instagram, or even stream a video, I believe, to Facebook and Instagram. Either way, I love these. They are so handy, they're so useful, and I think you will too.
Shaun, what a wonderful review. Thank you so much for that. And that is, of course, the way to set up those Meta Ray-Bans. I set mine up this morning, and I actually did get a sneak listen into that review ahead of time so that I could do that. And so glad that he did that review. So wonderful. That is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Keep in touch. We'll continue our conversation tomorrow, more of your feedback tomorrow, and a really interesting conversation about accessing women's health, and particular menstrual health for women. We're going to be talking to a woman who has developed a rather interesting product to help women identify their periods. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow on the show. Keep in touch. As always, you know how to do it by now. 1-877-803-4567 is the number, or you can email feedback@doubletaponair.com. We'll catch you tomorrow.